All right, let me give you some feedback here. First, I'll say the site is looking really good overall. Great colors. Logo looks very professional. Layout really nice. Um, I know it's really hard coding wise to get it to change when you hover over it. That would be the only, you know, any only way I could see that this could be improved. I mean, it's responsive. Um, that's awesome. Your navigation is responsive. So those are two great things. Good job. So let's just go. We'll start with the album cover. I love that I get this second navigation once I start getting to these pages. Um, so looking really good. I can um, easily understand concept description and yet see multiple examples of what you're up to. So that's really nice. And again, the navigation makes it really easy for me to move on to the next one. Appreciate that. Thanks. Um, it's a small idea. I kind of want to start with the cover. I want to see the cover before. I understand the cover is a vertical picture, so yeah, it works just fine this way. And by the way, you really improved the MI Arts brochure with the addition of pictures, which is exactly what I hope students would do once they got to this point in their progression at SVSU. So good job. Okay, nonprofit logo. Um, I noticed you used this picture before, so it's a great picture, and you could use it again. Um, it comes across as a little bit repetitive, so that's something that you could consider. I'm sure we could find another logo. I don't have anything against this person or a woman or whatever. It's just the fact that we're using the same picture over, so it looks, I don't know. This comes across a little obvious that we're using the same picture and thus um, doesn't seem as real or as pro as it could be if we just used a different mock-up for a t-shirt. So let's see, going on to the style guide. Um, the style guide, I'm really glad you have it. Um, the name of the style guide, I Hate Fairyland, um, does throw me off. So I might want to put the concept a little bit higher, um, or just like a little intro to explain what is I Hate Fairyland. Just so when we start looking at this, we're judging this correctly, etc. Because it is a very unique name. So that's one thing. I know you don't have that in any others, but I don't think adding an extra one to kind of explain this as an intro paragraph would be harmful to your layout or be a bad thing. Okay, so going to the short film. Um, Again, a great film, and I know there was a lot of different people that worked on this, so that's the one thing I would try to add. Um, Maybe the title would be Team, and then I would list all the others who were part of this. A good job for getting the video to be this large. Quite impressive. Yeah. So, okay, that'll work. They're still responsive. Um, so, why would you want to give credit to the team? Well, because A, it took a team to do it, and B, it's a great film. But lastly, future employers will also want to know that you're a team player, so it wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay. Moving on to the pamphlet now. I know 6 panels, there's not a lot to do with it, but you found a way to show it through multiple angles, etc. So good job. That's impressive. I know these aren't technically folding in the same way every time. Like this is the opposite of that. But you know what? It works. It looks good. No one's going to call you out on that except for me. uh, okay, Team Spirit. Yeah, good, 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 good. Um, this is really coming along. You get a great. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I found this really interesting. I might use this for a future class if you don't mind. And I love having the link here. It's going to break my heart when this website goes away. A great resource for typography. Thank you. Um, the website is rather bland. That is the background. There's, I don't know, all this white background. Really glad for the green and the blue. Try to ignore the boys upstairs if you hear them. Sorry about that. I'm really glad that that's in there. I'm almost tempted to put the same color across the top, but yeah, that works just as fine. Just comes across very clean, very minimal. So, maybe that's the right move for something so educational. So I'm thrilled about this website and hope it stays up there forever. Let's see. And then it looks like we don't have these two working yet. So I think you're doing really good. Let's look at the about, resume, and contact. Good. You may want to add a stepping stone here, maybe a drop cap, which is a little tricky in web code. If you want me to send you something, just let me know. Or make it bold or make the first sentence bigger or something like that. So we do have a slight stepping stone. That would be appreciated. Here, I have one idea for you. Why don't we add an Adobe Acrobat PDF file logo right here, and then the text, click here to download resume as PDF. Because a lot of people, they'll appreciate seeing it right here, and, it's awesome. But sometimes I want to gather everybody's cover letter and resume into the folder of applicants, etc. And there's no real way for most people to be able to do this other than screenshot it and patch it together, which a lot won't be able to do. So they're going to want to download your resume, so let them. And you can just put it in subtle. It doesn't have to be, black text or anything. It'd be light gray, and a small logo, and just push this down just a touch so you can look at the resume, or you could download it as a PDF. And then the contact. Yeah, I know how hard these things are. Really working with a database, it's a pain in the butt. If you have problems with that, I got some ideas for you too. Just let me know. This thing I just noticed. This is a real web font, so what can we do? Maybe make a capital S there. You see the big gap there? And I don't know how you fix that, because you can't really control the kerning on somebody else's web page millions of miles away that's looking at what you design. But we might be able to do some kind of letter spacing on that S to pull it closer. You'll probably have to do a span and then inline style CSS code and just say letter spacing minus 0.25 em, I would guess, and then see what that pulls it closer. And then, this looks like it's hand drawn until you see two identical side by side. So maybe go with a capital S there and maybe a capital T here. Let's stay in touch. That might distinguish that. Hey, good job right here. You gave me a little stepping stone. Again, I might be tempted to make that a little bit bigger, but I'm really glad it's there. So, good job. That's my feedback. I hope that helps. Thanks.